Ain't digging no hole out there.
You know, there's a giant crater in the middle of the yard out there.
Probably them chipmunks. They're destructive varmints.
Yeah, could be. Want me to do this one, Pa? Just says runs on choke.
Yeah, just drop the bowl on the carbatrator. Probably just got some boogers in it.
Ha! Sounds simple enough. Alright, see what we got going on here. I've never seen anything like this before, Pa. There's some little glob in here. I think it's alive.
Get out of here.
No, for real. Look, it's moving.
Ugh, looks like a corn nut. It is moving.
It's alive. I've seen plenty of boogers before, but never any that took off like that. Where did he go?
It probably scurried off somewhere to die. You never know what they put in this fuel nowadays.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he won't live long outside his natural habitat, the carbatrator.
All right, well, let's get back to work.
Hey, Taryl, I know you're in there. It's your old pal Skippy. I just need a spark plug. Hey. Oh, you cracked the door for me. Excellent. Taryl, thanks for letting me in. Where are you hiding? I just need a spark plug. Taryl, where you at? What was that? Taryl? What are you, playing Halloween games now? What was that? Was that you, Taryl? Where you hiding, Taryl? Come on, Taryl! Quit playing around! You're gonna give an old man a heart attack! Where you at? I just need this spark plug! RC12! Hey, what are you making that noise back there?
Taryl here, and Elk Skins, and we got us here a Husqvarna with a Krohler Courage 25. And the problem with this engine is the drain plug came out of it. It's got an oil drain hose on one side, and the other side's got a pipe plug in there. And somehow that pipe plug doesn't come out. That pipe plug's back under here. And all the oil leaked out. And the customer brought it in and said, it's got an oil leak. Yeah, massive oil leak. So we put the plug in, fingers crossed, filled it back up with oil, put a new oil filter on it, started it, and it ran good for about 2 minutes. Then it started developing a rod knot. So we called the customer and told him the bad news. Gave him his options, new engine or good used one. So we got a good used Briggs & Stratton V-twin we're gonna put on there for him, and he said, all right, do that. So this motor's gonna detonate, and we're gonna see if we can get it to throw a rod on film. So we're gonna start it and see how long it runs before it throws a rod, because it gets louder and louder every time we start it. Fire it up, fire it up, fire it up. Shut up. Fire it up when I'm ready, you knucklehead. All right, here we go. Boy, it didn't take long. It threw it right away. We knew that was gonna happen. I didn't think it was gonna happen that quick. It didn't have the courage to stay running. All right, we done pulled the Krohler Courage off the Husqvarna. There's the Husqvarna over there. And as you can see, when it threw the rod, it started to punch a hole in the block. So let's lower it down, flip it over, pull that oil pan off. Oh yeah, and RC, you can see that drain plug we put in there. That's what fell out. I don't know which one they had in there exactly, but that's the one I found and put back in there. 3/8 pipe plug. And we put some Aki Paki on there and put the oil and the new oil filter on it, and then it started knocking like I said. Oh, let's get it on the ground. Oh wow. Look at this big crack. Cracked the oil pan too. Look at it did to the cam. Bent it. That's what cracked the oil pan when it bent it. Wow. That was some major detonation there. There's one of the piston rings. So what happens when you run it low on oil, a lot of people seem to think that the pistons get stuck in the bore. But it usually seizes on the crank journal. That's the one that doesn't get oil. And it locks on there, and then that's what starts your rod knock. That's why you hear that rod knocking. Look at that. It broke it right off the piston. Isn't that cool? Here's the cap. See, from lack of oil, it started to get hot. And that's where it was starting to seize. And it was the lower rod, the one closest to the oil pan. Here's part of the piston. Oh, look at that. There's the top of the piston. Oh, look at woo, look at that. Piston. Oil ring. Oil ring. So a lot of times when stuff like this happens, it's not worth trying to rebuild it. I've seen where it broke the skirt here, broke the camshaft. By the time you start buying all these parts to fix it, you know, you end up buying another tractor or finding another engine. That's why a lot of times it's not feasible. You know, labor time, maybe if you're doing it yourself, yeah, it might be worth it, because that's your time. But you got to pay somebody like me. It gets expensive, plus it takes a long time. It's a lot of labor. And I got jobs I want to get in and get out. There's a wrist pin that's wedged. Wrist pin's wedged in here. Look at that. Got a wedge between the weight. Let me get a mat. See, this is what I'm talking about. See how it damaged the bottom of the skirt here and kind of cracked it? And the sleeve, the metal sleeve for the bore, that's all dented and banged up. That's why a lot of times it's like you can't even fix it, because you need a block. You know, it ruined the block. So let's tip it. Look at all the little goodies. Here's the little circlip for the wrist pin. Another push rod. See if it'll turn. That other rod's still on there. Oh yeah. You could probably put it back together and get it to run on one cylinder. Now it's a 12.5 horse. There's our dent. You know, you could always fix that. Bang it back and put some Taryl putty on there. But why? Why go through all that? Yeah, I broke the bottom of this a little bit. Broke the skirt off of here a little. So look, the piston is completely gone. It completely obliterated the piston. Because there's the valves right there. There's the spark plug hole. It obliterated it. So I know what you're all saying.
Taryl, why did you blow that engine up? Why didn't you shut it off when it had a rad knock and pulled the engine apart and replaced the rod, and it wouldn't have did all that damage and you could have fixed that engine? Why didn't you do that, Taryl? Why did you blow that engine up?
Because that's a lot of work, tearing that thing down. I know it grabbed onto the crank journal, so I would have had to take my crank out and have it polished, and then what if the machine shop calls and says it's out of round? So now we gotta grind the crank, and now you gotta get oversized rods. Now that's 2 rods I gotta buy. You ever price these Krohler parts? They're not cheap. And in the meantime, you know, this takes weeks sometimes. And in the meantime, the guy's like, hey, here, we're gonna get my motor fixed. I need to cut my grass. Heck, if I would have known this, I would have just had you put a good used engine on it or a new one. Because that's what people do. They want to cut their grass. They don't want to be monkeying around with engine repair and all this stuff. Especially, you know, when it starts to have a rod knock. So, again, left up to the customer. He said, yeah, got a good used engine? Put it on there, Taryl. Let's get her done. And I said, yeah, there's your dinner. Oh, the carnage! The carnage! Oh no! Lack of lubrication! This is what happens! Lack of lubrication! The carnage! So, subscribe to this YouTube channel, Taryl Fixes All. I'm rocking the new slipper shirt. There's Slip Dog right on there. And then also follow me and Elk Skins on Facebook and Instagram.
Come on, follow us.
Come on, keep up. Slowing down. You need to run a little anyway. You need to exercise. And as always, there's your dinner. Woo! Krohler courage didn't have the courage to stay running. Drew a rod, and it ain't gonna be worth repairing. This is junk. I ain't gonna rebuild that engine. It takes too long. Used engine's the way to go. Quicker, faster, easier. What's this, Junior? Some kind of Halloween prank?
I didn't do it, Pa, I swear. Honest.
Oh, relax, Junior. Backup generator will kick on in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, see what I tell you?
What happened?
Crap! Backup generator went out now.
Time to panic.
Yeah.
Ah! What is that?
I don't know.
Whatever it is what killed Skippy.
How do you know it was Skippy?
Well, who else is coming around late at night for a spark plug?
True.
That's over there!
Who are you? What do you want?
Reveal yourself! Oh, that thing is hideous!
Oh, I think it's that Glob from that carbatrator.
Oh, you're right! Wow, it grew!
It sure did.
That thing is disgusting!
Kind of looks like Bowie.
It kind of looks more like a Cheeto Puff or something.
If only there was some way we could communicate with it. Find out what it wants.
You guys know I understand your language, right?
Ah! It talks!
It understands us.
Yeah, I don't appreciate those things you guys were saying about me.
Where'd you come from?
My spaceship crash landed here on my way to another universe. I was wondering if you could possibly help me get back home by fixing my spaceship?
I don't know. I never worked on one before. Is it like a Simplicity?
Oh, come on, Pa. It ain't the space shuttle. It's a spaceship.
I guess you're right, Junior. This will probably be the only time I'll get a chance to work on one of them.
Oh man, that's awesome. Thanks, bro. Yeah, they're pretty simple, really, once you dive into them. They're all pretty much the same.
I see.
Yeah, you got your basic motherboard layout and powering system. You got a set of intergalactic tools, brother?
No, but I have some Pittsburgh tools for Harbor Freight.
Those are out of this world.
Don't worry about it, bro. I got you covered.
All right, sounds good.
You little cheese ball looking thing, you. Bye. See you, Globby.
Have a nice trip.
Bye. See you guys later.
So what was wrong with it anyway, Pa?
Oh, it was something real simple. It was the wearer diff, Hoppler-Ackle, Nokobot was bad.
Huh. One of those, huh?
Yeah,
And you had one in stock?
sure. Everybody's got one of them.
Huh. Bye, Globby.